Okay, hello, my name is Luisa Dueñas, and this is grade activity 2. I'm going to explain the use and characteristics of summarizing strategies by applying them to summarize information. Let me share with you some slides I prepared for you today. Okay, let's begin. Okay, use and characteristic of summarizing strategies. I present to you three effective strategies to summarize information. We got three here: the GIST method, reverse outlining, and the somebody wanted but so then strategy. I know it's long, it's too long. SWBST. So let's continue with strategy one, the GIST method. What is the GIST method? By the way, according to the definition, GIS stands for Generating Interactions Between Schemata and Text. The characteristics we got here focus on main ideas only, force concise expression, promotes comprehension and synthesis. Ideal for short text and paragraph level comprehension. We have here an example. Let's take a look. Elephants are the largest land animal on Earth. They are known for their intelligent, strong social bonds and impressive memory. In the wild, elephants live in complex matriarchal family groups and travel long distance in search for food and water. The gift summary, what the gift summary is going to do here? Of course, I just choose a paragraph for the example. Elephants are intelligent land animals with strong family bonds and long-distance survival behaviors. Okay, the analysis, the summary highlights key points. For example, the size, the intelligence, social structure, and survival habits, all with 20 words. Okay, this is one of the key aspects. Create short summaries as long they can be count in 20 words, force the students to be precise and focus. Okay, of course, if we apply this method to large journal articles, the use of GIST strategy will effectively help us understanding the reading well. Applying a few steps, like for example, we can divide the text, break the text into logical steps, and then read and discuss. We reach each section and discuss the key ideas, like we see in this little paragraph. Summarize, write a short summarize of each section because we're going to do that with each paragraph. And then we combine the section summarize into the larger summarize. Then we can do that in the large journal articles. Strategy 2, reverse outlining. Okay, I have to say this. In the personal, this is one of my favorite besides the SAC strategy I studied in the guidebook. Let's see what is this about. The definition of reverse outlining, this method, let me use my, this method involves outlining the main idea for each paragraph after reading to create a concise map of the text. The characteristic of reverse outlining is breaks down the text structures, improves reading comprehension, and is ideal for long and content text. So it's ideal for journal articles and books. Okay, strategy 2, example reverse outline. How we can use this, and you will see why it's my favorite. Because we can divide in paragraph. Paragraph 1, climate change affect global weather patterns. Paragraph 2, polar regions are warming faster than the global average. Paragraph 3, rising sea levels threaten coastal cities and ecosystems. What is going to do the reserve outline summary? Climate change alters weather, warm and polar regions quickly, and raises sea levels, rising coastal environments. They're going to analyze what is the goal of this strategy. The goals of this strategy is identifying the main point of each paragraph, like you see here. And then once you got the whole thing, this method helps to build a coherent summary of reflecting on the structure of the text, like they say here in the analysis. Okay, now let's continue with the third one. This is the longest actually. The somebody wanted but so then strategy. What this means? Okay, this strategy supports students in identifying a plot structure focusing on the most important parts of the story and writing concise summaries. For example, let's take a look at the definition one more time. This is a strategy used mainly in narrative or historical texts to identify conflicts and resolution. The characteristics of the SWBST helps track plot and argument flow, breaks down complex stories, and great for cause effect and sequencing. Okay, the SWBST strategy is used to summarize narrative text, like I already mentioned before, and identify with 5 questions. 3, 4, 5. Yes, I agree. 5 questions. The first one is somebody. Who is the main character? The W, wanted. What did the character want? B, but what was the problem or conflict? So, what did the characters do to solve the problem? And then, what was the resolution? We got here original source. Let's take a look with an example with a Cinderella. Cinderella lived with her stepmother and stepsister who treated her poorly. She wanted to go to the royal ball, but her stepmother wouldn't let her. A fairy grandmother appears and helps Cinderella get to the ball by giving her a dress, a carriage, a glass of slippers. Cinderella went to the ball, danced with the prince, and had to leave before midnight. Later, the prince searched the kingdom to find her using the glass slipper she left behind. He found her, and they lived happily ever after. We got the source here. So now we are going to apply the SWBST source. Who is somebody here in the story? Cinderella. Wanted. Who wants Cinderella? Wants to go to the royal ball. But her stepmother wouldn't let her. This is the but of the story. What? O sea, now, so her fairy grandmother helped her go. And then she met the prince and they lived happily ever after. So we are applying the SWBST strategy. We have a nice summarized part. Now, let's take a look how this will end. At the end of the summarize, we got this. In this, applying, of course, the SWBST. In the story Cinderella, the main character, Cinderella wanted to attend the royal ball. However, her stepmother refused to let her go. With the help of the fairy grandmother, she was magically able to attend. Cinderella met the prince and had to leave before midnight, but the prince searched for her and found her. In the end, they got married and lived happily ever after. So, what we do here at the end of at the end, let's summarize. We summarize and let me explain on the table, but later. Okay. Remember, this strategy supports the student identify and plot the structure, focuses on the most important part of the story. Now, let me explain, of course, and I will summarize what we already explained with a table. For example, we got here gives key feature, 20-word summary, ideal for short text precision, reverse outlining, structure summary after note taking, ideal for long or complex text, SWBST, tracks characters and outcomes, narrative or historical event is ideal for these ones. So academic reference here. And thank you very much for your kind attention. We see you in the next opportunity I got. Bye-bye.